Welcome to a long overdue episode of Greased and Gassed. So with all the lockdowns we've had down here, we are back at Bright. The event is officially cancelled. However, a lot of people obviously have attended the event still, so we're going to get you some coverage of that because, like I said, it has been ages since we've seen all of these Victorian cars out. So lots of excitement here in Bright. The weather has played fair so far, so it is quite warm here in Bright, so lots of action. Stay tuned, we've got more coming, so some new cars that have just been brought out as well, or imported, so lots of new cars that have been built while the lockdowns have been on. So stay tuned, stick with us, and don't forget to like and subscribe across Facebook and YouTube. His Valiant, because as we were talking about, it's probably the only S-Series Valiant cruising around Bright this weekend, and it sounds really good. So we've collared you, and there's a good story to this car, and his mates, we already said these mates are going to rib him, and they're in full form over there, so it's a great weekend at Bright. Scott, you were saying to us that this car's been in your family since you were 5 years old?
5 years old, yes.
5 years old, so what's the story with it?
It's got a lot of history. My dad bought it when I was 5. Restored the car back then, which was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But painted it red. It started off as a powder blue.
Yep.
Converted to a V8.
Yep.
Had a set of scogs on it, which are ugly.
Yeah.
And black interior. And that's what he drove. That was his everyday car.
Yeah, and I did ask if Scott looks very Aussie to me, and I did ask if he was Aussie, his dad, but he says yes, he was, which is unusual. Like I said, they were normally holders or forwards, so Valiant.
Yes, full
and
Aussie.
And then the story gets a little bit sad there with your dad.
Oh yeah, it does. Dad had finished the car.
And loved it, obviously.
And loved it, absolutely. And a freak accident one night.
Yep.
Not his fault. He passed away in a car accident.
In a car accident, but not in this Valiant, in another Valiant.
Not in this Valiant.
Not in this Valiant, but coincidentally in another Valiant. But the story sort of links back to they knew him through this Valiant, so...
They were trying to get in contact with him to have a chat about the car because they liked the car.
Yeah, and then unfortunately that led to your dad passing away.
Yeah.
In a car accident. So Scott's mum kept the car for many, many years and didn't drive it. So, so what, she just parked it up?
Just sat in storage for a long time.
Yep.
She put the number plates on hold through big roads.
So your dad was nutsy.
Yeah, so no one else can take the number plate.
Yep.
And the car sat there for a very long time.
Until your mum, she's obviously then let you have the car?
Yeah, my younger brother, believe it or not, I've got two brothers. Yep. My younger brother wanted to get married. And my younger brother said, how about we get Dad's car out and use it as a wedding car? And I said, mate, that's cool, but it's got to go through Mum.
Yep.
So a few discussions there and a few beers, and Mum said, okay.
So when you got it, what sort of condition was it? Obviously because it sat for a long time.
It was still very good, but it was early 90s spec, so it was, Did it
have kidney bean mags?
Yeah. No, it had worse. It had scogs on it, but the wipers were painted red. The front bar and the rear bar were painted red.
Yeah.
And, it was just that old 90s style that they'd done them in. So before the wedding, and it was in the era that everything was getting painted in silver satin.
Yep.
So we just sat in the bars and all the moulds. put a set of Convo Pros on it.
Yep. As you do.
And here we go. It's just.
And then your little rebuild turns into a big rebuild, as we commonly hear.
Yeah, and now it's it's had a much bigger motor put in it now, and it's got a.
Yeah, because it sounds really good, like a really good NA motor. You can hear what's it got in it. What's it running?
It's got a 360 Chrysler in it.
Nice. Yeah. No, it sounds good.
And it's it's nothing fast. I drive it out the highway. It's got a set of 2.9 diff gears in it that just out in the 100.
So you drove it up here?
No, I trailed it up here. I've got two. I've got two kids that have come up with me, two teenagers, so I've had to come up with swags and push bikes and.
Yes, I understand. I understand the pain. Yes,
Mum's packed us in 3 bags of groceries and all that sort of stuff, and clothes bags. So.
Yeah, no, I understand. I've got kids here as well. I know the struggle. And
you just can't seem to fit them in. I don't know how they used to do it in the 60s and 70s, but
it's good to hear the kids wanted to come up here. And have they been to Bright before?
They have, yes.
Yeah,
2 years ago, they were up here.
Yep. It's good to see when the kids get involved.
Yeah, 100%. Look, my 13-year-old has got a 65 HD station wagon, and that we're restoring at the minute. So, I'm hoping I get it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I get it.
That's all you can hope for, isn't it? Oh, it's good. It's a great story and a great tribute to your dad. And it's I don't think you really need to do anything else to the car. It looks like it's.
We're just going to drive it and enjoy it.
Looks like you're just enjoying it. So you and the boys. So. Well, thanks for chatting to us, Scott. We'll let you get back to having a drink with the boys. Like I said, it's great to be out, and the weather, like I said, is perfect. So fingers crossed it stays that way, and we'll let you get back to it.
For an unofficial event, it's a fantastic event.
How good is it? How good is it?
You cannot thank right enough. So,
no, I know, right?
Thank you very much, guys. Good on you. Good on you. Thank you.
Okay, so we're doing a big group interview here because it's been hard to get hold of everyone this weekend because everyone's cruising around and happy to be up here. So we've got all of these guys, they're a bunch of mates and they've all come up together this weekend. So I'll start with you, it's Daniel, isn't it?
Daniel.
So Daniel's is the 46 Plymouth. Now he's been filling me in about a little bit about this because it's actually an Australian delivered car you've got.
Correct. Yes, it is.
Yeah, so first Bright,
It is my first Sprite.
It's his actual first Sprite, as well as the car being a rookie here this weekend. So you brought it around the time of the first lockdowns, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. I've been building it since.
Yeah. Well, it's been, it's given people a good excuse to build some cars with lockdowns. So tell us, what was the car like when you got it?
Quite literally, it was a chalkboard.
Yep.
Yeah, it was really rough. Saw a photo of a burnout, of a Plymouth ripping a burnout, and I went up to Mark and said, "Hey, this is a real that's what gets you into the cars anyway."
Yeah.
And I said, "Hey, this thing's really cool." So we found one online.
Yep.
We went to see it, and I didn't really see what this would look like once we cleaned it up, but Mark saw potential in it.
Yep.
So the day that we got it delivered, Ben and Mark both rocked up.
Yeah.
Just like, this is cool.
Yeah.
So we put a fair bit of time into it.
Yeah. Yeah, and what mode is it running?
It's got a flatty 6.
Flatty in it, so I don't know how many burnouts you're actually going to get to rip in this one, but
if it's wet,
but we'll go with low and slow. So you were saying before it's a very low mileage car.
Yes, it is. It's got 80,000 miles.
80,000 miles on it. There you go. And the owner that you had it off was the second owner?
He was the second owner. He bought it off an old lady who had it just stored in a shipping container.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Old lady car. Yeah, it is. Not anymore.
Her husband's car. She stored it.
Another old lady owns
Not anymore. Not anymore. So you've obviously just lowered it, cleaned it up. The interior and everything's still all original?
It is. We've just put more cushioning inside.
Yeah, just to make it a little bit more comfy.
Springs are a bit hard.
Yeah. So your first Bright, what have you thought? It's the unofficial Bright, but you've enjoyed yourself up here.
Oh, it's a really good craft.
I tell you, have you been to Queenscliff yet?
I haven't, but I hope to this.
That's another one. He's got to get to Queenscliff. Yeah, book your accommodation early because it's very, very good Queenscliff as well. So highly advised if you like the cruising, like Hastings you were mentioning about before, which is another really good cruise night. We'll have to get down there one night, Greg. It is awesome. Well, the car looks great. All three of these cars, you've got a good bunch in. It sounds like this is a bit of a team effort as well here. Who's next? We've got Mark, isn't it?
Yep.
So Mark, I'm going to come a little bit closer. I'll squeeze. Mark and
Sammy.
All right. Now you guys are in the 36, isn't it? 3 windows. So tell us a little bit about that. How long have you had it for?
2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yep.
And what sort of was it like that when you got it, or what?
It was sitting in a shed.
Yep.
And it was filthy.
Yeah.
And it was just sitting there.
Oh wow.
Went to look at another car and decided not to buy the other car and saw that.
And so was that for sale, or did you just sort of twist his arm?
Yeah, kind of opened the door and went,
yeah,
you can buy that. I went, okay.
Because as I was saying off camera, 36 coupes aren't a very common car here in Australia. I don't think they were released here, were they at all? We had the 5 windows, but not 3. But not 3 windows, so they are, like I said, I've had my eyes open. My partner has a 35, so paint-wise and everything like that, was it painted like that? Yeah.
The car was restored in Canada in 1980.
Yep.
That's how it was done.
Oh wow.
So the paint, trim.
Did he even drive it at all?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
And there you go. Yeah. So it's like that. So, wowee, there you go. But you've been coming up to Bright for since you've had it. Yeah. And have you had other cars that you've brought up here before? So what's your other cars that you've got?
My wife's got a 32 coupe.
Where's that?
That's Queenscliff's car.
Yes.
Ah,
yeah. We have certain cars for certain events that we
fair enough.
take.
Yeah. So
and we've had our combi up here. We got a dual cab, split screen dual cab. So it's up here too.
Yeah, there you go. So tell us about the 32 as well. I love seeing women in cars. So what's that like? What colour is that? We'll keep an eye open for that.
Black with yellow pinstriping.
And yellow wheels.
You guys like cleaning, don't you?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Because
But there's something very therapeutic about washing your car. And looking at the chrome.
Not for me.
No.
You can come. We live not far from each other.
You're washing it wrong.
You can come and relax. You can come and relax and clean my car if you like. Trust me, I'd happily have someone that would just come and clean my car.
Oh, don't get me wrong. He cleans my car.
Yeah, no, you guys. They look beautiful, and all weekend the cars have looked, amazing cruising around. So
Thank you.
You don't need. I don't think there's any. Is it left hand or right hand drive yours? It's left hand. How much fun is driving left hand?
I love it.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
So I always keep going to the wrong side of the car to get in.
I know when you go to the petrol station.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every time.
And what are you guys running in this? What motor?
It's got 302 Windsor.
Yeah, so it gets along all right.
C4 Auto in the 90s.
Yep, nice. Oh, nice chatting to us, guys. Like I said, awesome looking car. We'll like I said, we're going to be at Queenscliff.
Yep.
And we'll keep an eye on it. And I love your hair with your snood there. You don't see too many people who have great
people
hair.
can pull it off.
And you've done it well considering the weather as well.
Thank you very much.
Mine's gone. I've just given up. Today's the last day. It's home time.
Yep.
But thanks for chatting to us. Now,
Thank
Ben,
you.
we'll come and chat to you. You've got the 32 Tudor over there and your wife here as well. Tessa? Yep. So Ben and Tessa, so they've got the 32 Tudor over here. And tell us, how long have you guys owned this?
Probably about 4 years now.
4 years. So, Hemi, 392?
392, yep.
good size.
Blown Hemi.
If you're going to go for a Hemi, you got to go for a 392. I agree. So, and you guys, you've all travelled up here together. You've got another car here as well, though, haven't you?
Yeah, I got a 74 Dodge school bus.
That's
so
insane.
We had that in the trailer and towed it up.
Did you tell me before you have 6 kids?
Yes.
6 kids. They've got a hot rod up here. That's awesome. Yeah. And I have seen the bus cruising up and down as well. Yeah. So tell us, so you bought the car 4 years ago?
Yeah, it was, so Pete, one of our mates, just in his garage, the first time I met him, saw it, fell in love with it.
Had to have it?
Had to have it.
What would make him sell that?
Well, I think it's probably money. Yeah.
What would make anyone sell that?
Dangle a big enough carrot, I think. I think it's been one of his regrets ever since. I might have rubbed it in a little bit since.
Yeah, because I reckon I have seen that car up here. I reckon it would have been a bit of a trophy winner a few years ago, that car. Because has it been on the road for long?
Probably 8 years.
Yeah, I was going to say about 8-10 years. 10 years, I reckon, because it's always been an eye-catching car, especially with a number plate. It really does set it off, doesn't it?
Yeah, so, it's a bit of a handful, but
and you've enjoyed Bright this year.
Every year.
Yeah,
great.
we did see Ben yesterday. He was stuck on the side of the road, but it was we ran out of fuel. So I didn't. I had. Yeah, no, he ran out of fuel, which, but this adds to the story. But it was at the worst possible time because it literally rained and the rain was blowing in sideways. And my friend Gav, he came to the rescue, had some fuel there, so we got you back on the road and got you going again. But yeah, the worst possible timing because
timing's impeccable.
We were all just like literally racing for cover to get out of the rain. So I'm not dropping him in it, but it does. It was quite amusing to see you guys just there. We had the umbrella on the engine bay, and we were like, I did offer to help push, but in my current condition, I wasn't much help. But no, it was good to see you got going. And when I came back, I seen that you guys had gone on. I said, they said no.
Sorted, so.
Yeah, it happens. My car's running on empty at the moment. We've got cruising to do and a weekend to enjoy.
No time to fill up.
That's right. So well, thanks. So you guys have obviously all travelled up together, a good bunch of mates, helping out each other and giving some advice here to our newbie rodder.
Yep.
So how have you guys all met each other?
Our kids went to school together.
Now, how do you make that connection when your kids go to school together that your parents are both rodders? How does that happen?
No.
That's his fault.
Yeah, it's my mate.
Sorry.
It was my wife's 40th.
Yeah.
And my wife had been seeing these two at school, so she invited them to a 40th.
Yeah.
So they came to our place for Sammy's 40th.
Yeah.
And he walked into my garage and just stood there with his mouth open up.
Yeah.
And that was the end of it.
Yeah.
That was the end of it.
It is good. But isn't that good that your kids, made that connection and made that friendship as well? And do you guys do a school pickup in the cars? I do.
Yeah, occasionally. Sometimes you do.
Yeah. I'll see you out in the road.
Yeah.
Now that's a great connection. And how have you come into it as well, Daniel?
So I was building a Beetle. I actually got his contact through a mate saying that he builds really good Volkswagen motors. So I took the Beetle there thinking that, if I'm going to get it done right, he's the guy to go to.
And now look how much you've cost him.
I know.
Look what's happened now.
I am the dearest person these guys know.
It's addictive though, isn't it? You can't stop at one either. Once you're hooked, I'm running out of space. We're actually building a shed at the moment that's 15 by 30 metres in my backyard because I live on an acre. So I understand. So like I said, these guys are all local to me, so I'm going to see them out and about over summer. And let's face it, we're going to have a good summer this summer, aren't we? No more lockdowns. We're going to be out there. We're going to be cruising. So we're going to have lots more content coming this summer because it has been the slowest year ever for us filming. So thank you again, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a safe trip home.
No worries. Thank you.
Sandra.